Well, hello again, and welcome again to Cold Spring in Minnesota. And this is going to be the second part to a video on mackerels. I made a video the other day, and I just kind of explained just a few basic things. But I'm kind of excited today because I really want to get into uh, mackerels and what you can really do with them and how they can save you so much time and so much work. And I hope you pick up some good tips in this video. I'm just going to switch my screen here for a minute here. I am on the air, but let me jump into this. This was a post that a friend of mine put on Facebook. Will it rain? Will it snow? I live in Minnesota. I don't know. You know, they always say if you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change. And that's about it, too, in Minnesota. Okay, with that said, I'm going to jump into a few things on mackerels. Uh, this is just a blank Word document, and actually it's a right LibreOffice. You can do this. By the way, mackerels, you can use mackerels in a lot of different programs. A lot of programs have mackerels. And what I want to show you is just some basic stuff, but I'm going to tell you right away, don't make the same mistakes I make. Uh, when I first started using mackerels, I would make huge mackerels, and they were hard to try to figure out sometimes. And then if you had a bug in one, then you had to go through the whole mackerel to figure it out. What I decided to do was make a bunch of small mackerels, and they're easy to maintain and easy to fix. So let me just show you that real quick before we even get into what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to mackerels, and I'm going to go to organize my mackerel, just go to basic. And what I did is I I'm working on Matthew Henry's commentary on the entire Bible. And every one of the books have abbreviations. And when I create an audio, the narrator that reads and it's a computer narrated, uh, will make mistakes and try to read the abbreviations. And I'd rather have the full name of the book. And so what I did is I created a group called Bible. In my module, I got one for every book of the Bible in here. Every book. And they're real simple mackerels. Let me jump out of here for a minute, and I'm going to go to edit one of those mackerels just to show you. And in fact, I found a mistake. It was a typo, and I fixed it. It was really easy. So I'm going to go to edit mackerels. I'm going to go to that same group, the Bible, the module, and go to all the books. Okay, I discovered one thing. I missed one book. I missed Timothy. So I had to go out and create another one. And then in Habakkuk, find it right here, double click on it. Okay, here's the sub for Habakkuk. And if you go down to line 11 here, I think it is, I had two B's in here. All I did is took the B out, and then I went up here and saved it. And it was fixed. And I closed it. It worked fine. Okay, now how do I use all these mackerels? Uh, right now I'm working on the book of Isaiah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my browser here, and I just finished this chapter here, which was chapter 58. The next chapter is going to be 59. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this, slide it all the way down. I'm going to do a quick copy. I'm going to go to that empty window I got here, and I'm going to paste it in there. Okay, now the first thing I do is, if you notice, John is abbreviated, Psalms is abbreviated, all these things, chapter is abbreviated. Now, I would have to go through and change each and every one of these. in every document, and that's time consuming. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, first of all, the bullet points here, the narrator reads Roman numerals, and there's Roman numerals in here, but it doesn't read the I as 1, it reads it as I, and it doesn't read the V as 5, it reads it as V. So I just quickly scan through this just to see if I can pick up any of those, because those, I manually change those. I don't fool around. Like here's an I right here in a bullet point. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to backspace and make a 1 out of that one. Notice that ISA doesn't have a period. Normally, if you abbreviate, it's got a period. I made a mackerel to fix that. Okay, let's just keep going up here. It won't take long. There is 12 pages, and it would take me a while to get through 12 pages here if I had to do every one of these edits manually. So if you notice that V is for verse, and I changed that V to verse, not verses, and I add the S where I need it. Proverbs is abbreviated. Let me just quick get to the top here. There's another I. I didn't see any V's yet. Okay, this is chapter 59. First thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to save it. Save it as chapter 59. Okay, and I know it's the book of Isaiah, so I just come down here to Isaiah, come over here to chapter 59, save it. Okay, it's a done deal. Now, I made a shortcut to run all those mackerels. I could actually go to the toolbar, go down to mackerels, and go to run mackerel, and find that mackerel. I got a mackerel called, wrong one here. I got a mackerel called call all mackerels. I could run that and it would work fine. But I assigned this mackerel to a hotkey. I'll show you how I did that. It's real simple. Come up here, go to Tools, go to Custom. Okay, here's your keyboard shortcuts here. And I assigned it to a shortcut key, Shift Control F1. I gotta find it. Shift Control. Find F1. Okay, here it is right here. Okay. All right, now what I'm gonna do is, in order to assign that, I had to come down here and went to LibreOffice Mackerels. And I went to My Mackerels. I went to the Bible. I went to the module. And I found Call All Mackerels. And if you notice, it's assigned to Shift Control F1. Okay. With that said, now I'm just going to hit them 3 keys and watch what happens. It automatically changed all those. Every one of them got changed. So now all I got to do is just scroll through this, find where I have to make a few changes. I don't make many changes, but I add the S on to verses, put the and in there, and these are all Roman. Once I get through this first part here, it goes pretty fast. 1 to 8, verses 9 to 11, and verses 12 to 15, yeah, and then verses 16 to 19. I just looked over to make sure my mic was working. I've done that where I've made a whole video and never had any sound. Lucky enough I had it going. Whoop, make this and. All right, now, when I find the word chapter, I could just leave it. It would read it, chapter 58:3. Well, what I wanted to do is read chapter 58, verse 3. It just sounds better. And I know that when the narrator reads the book of Numbers and reads 11, he reads a colon in here too, so I changed the colon to verse here too. There's not too many of them there that he does that on. Here's another chapter. Okay, make that verse. Now, see, I don't have to change Jeremiah, Deuteronomy. I don't have to type any of this stuff here. All I got to do is just make these little alterations. Okay, well, there's more in this one than usual. Okay, now let's just scroll down here. There's nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. And I don't see any mistakes either that catch them right away too. So, okay, here's verses 9 to 11. Okay. And just doing a quick scan here. Here's another one. And verse 13. Chapters 10, verse 1. Okay, scroll. You see how long it would take me to go through and change all those words if I had to write all the books out. Deuteronomy, Ephesians, Thessalonians. Saves me a lot of typing that way. Just adding that S to verses and putting an and or two in some of them pretty fast. Okay. I used to spend about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour on these things, correcting them. I don't do that anymore. They're pretty well all corrected, except for these few things that I change. Okay, here's one more chapter. Normally I don't even have this many to change, but this document seems to have quite a few of them in. Of course, I had to pick one that had a lot of changes here. Okay, that's pretty well it. Okay, now all I got to do is just go up here and save it, close it. Okay, now I'm going to show you another thing. I just finished doing chapter 3, and the next one I'm going to be doing is going to be Isaiah chapter 4, okay? Now, if I go to Isaiah 4, you notice that I've already got a document in here that's been corrected. I'll just open it up, okay? And you see that I have chapter 4. I'm going to grab chapter 4. See, it's already all corrected. And I'm just going to copy it into the clipboard. And I use a program called OneNotes. It's actually a Windows program. And if you notice, I got chapter 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of chapter 3. And scroll down here to the end. And do a Control-C and delete it. Backspace 1. And I'm going to paste that document in here. I'm pasting it as a text only. Okay? Now it's basically in. And just to look at it real quickly, I'll tell you right now it is it's 6 pages long. Takes about 15 minutes to record 5 pages, approximately. So it's going to be a little over 15 minutes to record this one. Okay, I'm basically done with it. I'm just going to close that document up. And what I do here is I will go up, I'm on the View menu, and I'll go to Immerse Reader. And it calls it up like this. Now, all I do, when I can't record it because I'm recording this video, but if I recorded it, all I do is just hit the record button and then start to play, and now you'll hear it.
Matthew Henry's Commentary on the Whole Bible. An exposition with practical observations of the book of the prophet Isaiah.
See, and it reads it pretty good. And now, like, if I wouldn't have, if I would have had that just ISA, it would read ISA instead of reading the, the whole book. And that goes to show the whole thing all the way through. So that's pretty well how I record it. And let me move this back here too, so I don't get confused later on that I was on 3. Okay. And then what I would do is I would just basically come to the very next book, which will be Isaiah 60. And I do the same thing. I just copy it, grab it, and do a quick copy, and open up another document, do a quick paste. I won't go through this one here, but you'll notice that, watch how it changes when I just hit the hotkey, the Control-Shift F1, basically. And then I just go through and make the few changes. And I'll come back up here and I'll do the quick save. Chapter 60. Come back down here again to Isaiah. And go over here to chapter 60. Save it. Pretty well done. That's about it. So, you gotta love mackerels, part 2. I hope this video really helps you out, because it sure helped me out. And if you have any questions, just send me a comment. I usually check my comments, so it should be fairly easy, straightforward. Well, welcome to cold Minnesota. Oh, I did want to show you this. So, this is kind of the setup that I got up here. If I got the right screen here. Full video. No, that wasn't it. Oh, where the heck is it? Well, I just had it here. Oh, there it is. Couldn't find it. I'm going to turn this camera on for a minute. This is my setup. I've got two monitors. I hope I just bumped my camera here. And I turned it a little bit so you can see it. And I record in one screen and work on the other screen. It's usually in reverse because I work a little bit different when I'm recording or I'm working on the commentary. So with that said, I'm just going to end my podcast here and just have a great day. And try to get over here to shut this thing off. All right, bye for now. And if you like my videos, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot of videos. I've got over 6,000 videos on YouTube and Rumble and BitChute and so many more. And I've got some podcasts out there, some audio podcasts on Anchor and also on Spotify and a couple other platforms. So you'll find me on the internet most of the time, and I'm retired, but I brought over some of my work skills to my, you want to call it a hobby. But I hope you liked the video. Have a great day. Bye now.